You're listening to Hit the Road, Jack, a show about the places we love and the social issues they face. But we don't talk about your average social issues. No, we aren't talking about poverty or crime rates. We're talking about issues like, why are pigeons so fat?
We don't know why pigeons are so fat.
Here in New York. We are in New York, New York for the 78th Annual IBS National Awards. And joining me today are Claire Goodwin.
Hello, this is me.
I'm Emily Harless.
And everybody should know who I am, but I am Garrett Nealon.
Yes, we're sitting here in the top of the Hotel Pennsylvania on the 18th floor. We've enjoyed a lovely time with some wonderful accommodations. I think
I don't know if wonderful is the word for it. That's what we will say. I don't know how wonderful having a toilet that doesn't flush is. But
of course.
Yes, so we're going to talk about some of our experiences here, and let's start on the fat pigeon note, a social issue that is really pressing New York.
Yeah, it's pressing a lot more people than you would think. The whole 8.92 million people that live in New York are all pressed with this issue. There is no baby pigeons.
No one knows where they come from.
No, Jordan Klepper talked about this problem. There is not one small pigeon in New York.
Yeah, honestly, we walked to Rockefeller Center, and I didn't see any small pigeons anywhere. We saw a bunch of, his co-star said, we saw a bunch of, big footballs with feet. That's, all pigeons are.
Yeah.
Literally.
They're terrible.
Yes. So that is one thing we face, and they aren't even afraid of you.
No, literally, when we were walking in Times Square today, I saw a woman kick a pigeon because it was in her way. I swear this is a true life story. The woman punted this pigeon, and he just scooted over and just kept walking okay, this is just a normal day in New York. I don't even know how to explain that.
Now, if you're unfamiliar with where the four of us are from, we're from Indiana, a
Yeehaw.
small town. So whenever we go up to birds, they think we're going to kill them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they know these people mean business, and here in New York, they're like, oh, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to punt me a little bit. That's fine.
They just deal with it.
Yeah.
They just deal with it. Now, the next issue is we've all seen the movies back home in the Hoosier State, and there aren't actually superheroes here in New York.
Heck no, there is not one superhero. I didn't see Spider-Man swinging through Times Square.
Wait.
Actually, there were some in Madame Tussauds.
Okay, but that's not...
Wait.
No, I don't care about a wax
We need to
figure.
clarify this, because we were in Times Square earlier today, and there are superheroes. It's just
they're heroes, not super.
to say they're super would be more than an overstatement.
Yeah, they were cringy, to say the least. I saw Hulk walking down the street, and he had a two-toned look to him. His face was a bright green, and his body was a very dark green. I was like, you're not Hulk.
Yes.
It was kind of weird, and too many Minnie and Mickey Mouses. There way an odd amount of them, to say the least.
It's like you can give us Minnie, but you can't just have Iron Man fly in. Come on, this is New York.
Ooh,
Pardon
Jack,
the voice crack.
What was going
Again,
on there?
I'm the only freshman on this trip.
Knock, puberty's out the door.
Hello. Okay. Now, let's talk about some of the places we've been to. We went to a filming of the Comedy Central show called The Opposition when we got here this week. It is a comedic take on news points. They do it. It's a nightly show. What did everybody think about that show?
I thought it was great. I will say Jordan Klepper is a phenomenal comedian. The things that he says, it was just overall was so well put together. Before, when they were having the dude come out and just tell jokes, I thought it was hilarious. That was actually my favorite part of the show, just because he was just so off the beat, just going.
Yeah, I agree for sure. I've never seen a political satire show until this live filming, so it's definitely something interesting to watch, and I really did like his comments, so I'm going to have to check it out when we get back home.
Oh, well, that's good, Claire.
I think it was really entertaining because, I know you're very much not a liberal, Garrett, and
right.
so it's very much a liberal-based show, but you were sitting there cracking up at everything that they said. It was really entertaining.
Well, as long as the character is somewhat conservative, it's fine.
Which they do portray both sides well,
Yes.
so it helped anyone laugh at the jokes.
Right.
Right?
Right.
They made a fool out of some people at CPAC the other day.
That was
entertaining. Moving on, we've also been to some lovely restaurants. The food in New York is like nothing we've ever seen.
No, exactly. There is food everywhere you look. and it may not sit well in your stomach, but it tastes well going down. That's what we will say. It's better in than out, but
Right. We have Noodles and Company. They have Barillas.
yeah, it's Berea.
Barillas. Okay.
First of all.
So Emily is our resident Italian
No,
translator.
no.
She worked at a small Italian restaurant in the middle of Indiana. So clearly she's qualified.
They have cheese and wine.
It's so. So we went to Berea's. Incredible food. Incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, and let's not forget to mention that Emily acted like a tour guide the whole time and almost got us lost in the subway system. So
I did not. You guys were the ones that didn't agree with me on where to go in the subway.
Oh, but she knows everything about New York. She could probably tell you when all the buildings were built, too.
She came here one spring break.
Yep.
Let's just
let's get that.
Let's clarify that.
She's like, if you guys get me to Port Authority, I can get you anywhere in New York.
Yes. Oh, and she knows every fireman in New York.
Oh, yeah, every fireman.
I said I know one, but it's okay.
She is familiar with all safety peoples.
Yeah, so
To be
although I
honest.
wouldn't trust her with most things in New York, there is one thing. Los Tacos was pretty good.
Oh, you guys finally went to the taco place.
we
We
did.
finally went to the taco
Well,
place.
thank God, because Emily was about to have a coronary if she didn't go.
Yeah, it was weird too because Claire hates tacos like thoroughly, and then she went there and it's normal fast food prices, and then she had it and she loved it and she wants to go back.
Did she have it and she love it?
Okay. So we've talked a little bit about the food. I'm sure we'll enjoy more as we finish up this weekend.
I mean, we only got about one more meal here, so it better go out with a bang.
That's right. But let's talk a little bit about some of the people we've seen.
Let's talk
Now,
about
people watching in New York. It's
It's way better than Pendleton.
yes. I feel like the only place that could possibly top it is Vegas. Like
Maybe.
maybe, but it'd still be a run for its money.
It's just it's just a different breed out here. People, one, do not care about where you're walking. They will go directly into
Yes.
you.
If you think manners are not much of a thing,
They don't know manners, but at the same time, they know where they're going, and they know how to get there fast. I'm over here looking at a map. I mean, they're out here solving everything. It's ridiculous.
yes, it is.
It's just a winding maze of just concrete and subway systems and confusion.
So let's all go down the road and say our favorite outfits we've seen from this weekend.
Oh boy.
So Garrett, let's start with you.
You can't start with me. I have to ponder.
Okay,
I have to ponder.
we're gonna go to Claire right here next to me.
Okay, yep. So at one point, I did see, like, we were walking down the streets, and he had a bunch of different prints on him. He had, like, a zebra suit and then, like, a cheetah print, like, feathery coat. So, I mean, that was pretty interesting. You don't usually see that. But some of the fashion here I honestly would wear, so... But
Right,
that
that's
one,
what I'm saying. Like, a lot of it is like a more modern look, but it looks good. Like, the people know how to
Yeah.
pull it off. So, like, it's not any outfits that, like, I'm going to point out to be cringy, because most of them, yes, they are cringy, but that's what's in. Like, the weird looks is what's in today.
I have one cringy outfit.
Let's hear it.
There was a man with a deep cut V-neck, like a Leo, like a whole body
Oh,
jumper.
Like the leotard, yeah.
Yes, it was like a camo deep V jumper, and cringy is an understatement. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, but honestly, I cannot point out anything that I thought was bad. The only thing I will say was bad was that Hulk outfit I saw earlier today. I mean, if you're going to be Hulk and try to take pictures with kids, first of all, you can't be 5'5", 240. And second of all, you can't have two-tone greens. You have to have greens that actually coordinate.
Yeah,
and you just can't.
I don't know. I guess I understand that. I definitely didn't see the two-toned Hulk that you're talking about over
He
here.
was horrendous.
But no, I did. This isn't really a cringy outfit because he's like kind of iconic. But the naked cowboy, we saw him in Times Square, as well as the naked cowgirl, and like it's not necessarily cringy, but at the same time it kind of is because it was pretty
Can
cold
you
outside
imagine
yesterday.
how cold it
Yeah.
would be to be a naked cowboy?
Yeah, it was 47 degrees outside, but with
It was
massive
breezy.
wind, and the naked cowboy and cowgirl were both out there, and it was kind of intense.
By
Intense.
naked cowboy and cowgirl, what do you mean?
Okay, so they're not completely naked. They have cowboy boots on and they have cowboy hats, but other than that, it's literally the cowgirl literally just has a bra and underwear on, and the cowboy literally just has a Speedo on. That's it.
Okay, New York at its finest. New York
to,
at its
to
finest.
say the least.
Yes. So moving on, I just want to tell a real quick story that the girls and I experienced the other day at breakfast at Dunkin' Donuts. We went in, we ordered our food, and all of a sudden this guy comes walking in, New Yorker. He comes up and he says, "Nah, I've been up all night and I'm drunk. Don't mind me." And we're like, okay, whatever. Like, whatever. But then he turns around and says something else, and I can't use the exact words that he used, but he turned around and said, "Oh, and by the way, I did something in my pants."
He
Now-
defecated.
Defecated. That's the word I was looking for. And we're like, now we're a little concerned. At this point, we're wondering where's this going? How is he in the Dunkin' Donuts right now? So then, as we're heading out, because we're just a little too weirded out, a cop heads in. The rest of the story is unknown to us, but I can only imagine what happened to this guy.
The poor man.
Literally.
Jeez. Snap, crackle, and pop on the old man.
That's another one of your social issues, though, is just the amount of extremely drunk people that are just walking around New York City, because I feel like that's just a common occurrence.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you're going to come to New York, you're over 21, you're having one heck of a time. Sometimes you might just wake up at a Dunkin' Donuts at 5 in the morning and be like, I'm a little, like that's going to happen.
Okay, so yeah, we
Boom.
just got some news about our timing here.
It's not
But-
fake.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that for a minute. New York is the media capital of the world, I would say. They host all
Yes.
the national news
Yes.
and, in some cases, international news. So let's just talk about the bash the media is getting lately. Garrett, you're strongly opinionated on everything, so let's.
Oh, God, here we go. I knew you were going to ask for my opinion sooner or later. Jack, why'd you do this to me? You put me right onto the spot.
Let's go. Let's go.
The only thing I'm going to say is, why did CNN take 10 minutes to describe the Alec Baldwin-Donald Trump beef? And, I mean, literally, there's so many bigger things that are going on.
Well,
But God forbid
you know
Alec
what?
Baldwin say
you know
anything.
why they stuck on that is because it was huge.
Oh, God, yeah. It was huge. Let's just say that. But the funniest thing that Alec Baldwin said in that whole thing was he tweeted at President Trump and said, "Tell Melania to stop asking for SNL tickets." And I got a kick out of that. I thought that was pretty funny.
That is pretty clever. Now, today after this, we're going to head over to the 9/11 Museum and look at where the World Traders...
World Traders.
Well,
Get your hats here.
We're in New York, huh?
No. Next.
See what New York does to you.
That just makes you angry.
The manners drop, and you just
Yep.
go straight into saying whatever
Yeah, actually,
you think.
one thing that New York has taught me is to walk with a purpose. Like, Sam was walking behind me into the hotel lobby. There is a 4-year-long line for the check-in, and Sam's like, "How do you get through this?" I was like, "Let me show you. You stand up straight, you beef your body out a little bit, and you just freight train right ahead. Like, you don't
That's right.
stop for anyone." Like, Sam's like, excuse me. I'm like, "Get out of my way. Like, I
Very
don't
true.
want to look at you. Just move." And it works, I promise.
It's the only way to do it. You have to be forceful here, or nothing will happen.
Exactly.
Garrett and I have already switched rooms once, given
Yeah.
the fact that our toilet didn't flush and we were out of cold water.
Yeah.
Garrett will tell you about that
Oh.
by the third-degree burns on his body.
Yeah. I was standing at the back of the shower, cupping my hands and burning them with the water, waiting for it to cool off, dumping it on my head just so I could get the glob of shampoo I put in my hair out.
Yeah, similar experience. Not as bad, but our shower, the knob does not stay up, so you have to hold it. But at one point, I would let it sit, and then it'd fall, so it'd go freezing cold, and it was not pleasant. But I mean, it worked out in the end.
Yeah, it was either freezing cold or literal lava temperatures that you would feel in hell. So, I mean, either way.
All right.
That says it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had to take force, call the front desk 3 times, and eventually
Oh.
they said, "Oh,
Hey,
yeah, we'll
they were
move you."
calling me sir, so they knew I meant business. I was like, listen, I mean, we left for dinner and they brought a plumber. What did they do? Nothing. The plumbers literally looked at us and did nothing.
Yeah, we got back from dinner. We went in and we were like, the toilet better flush. We are men that need to go to the restroom. This toilet
Yeah.
better flush.
And what did it not do?
Flush.
Bingo.
Yes. So we called again. They sent someone up. We were on our way out. Came back. Still didn't flush. Called once more. And now we're in a room.
Well, the manager was like, yeah, we should probably switch a room. I was like, no kidding, Mr. Manager. Like, yes, switch my room.
But if you're traveling to New York, the Hotel Pennsylvania is a cost-effective place to stay. Okay. Now, given the fact that they're hosting us here, I should probably stop that. Moving on, let's compare, like, New York makes Chicago look like a playground.
It makes Chicago look like Pendleton.
Yes, it's like Chicago to Pendleton is like New York to Chicago, if that makes any sense.
I like the comparison.
Okay. How do you guys feel about that?
Let's see what Emily has to say.
Yeah, so
This is
Claire.
Claire.
this is Claire, you're right. It's definitely a lot busier. I don't think I could, like, survive here just because it's so loud, always at night, and it is a lot more populated than Indiana, and especially Pendleton. But Emily?
Yeah.
I haven't been to Chicago in a long time. I don't really actually know what Chicago's like at this point anymore, but Claire is correct in the fact that it is very noisy. In the words of our general manager, the song of their people is just straight up horns and sirens, constantly running, nonstop. And it's just, especially, okay, so where we are, the Hotel Pennsylvania is right across from Madison Square Garden. The other night, IU played, and they lost, but we had people coming out, they were screaming and chanting IU, and then sirens kept coming by, people kept honking their horns, because that's going to help the situation, and I don't know, it's just strange.
Yes, and also in the words of our state general manager, yes,
Step back.
he woke up to the sound of 2 gunshots
Bang, bang.
all over you. Song reference.
Terrible. Next.
So, you don't get that in a small town in Indiana. You don't just get that constant fear for your life.
Go to Anderson.
Well, yeah, one town over, we
Yeah.
have Anderson, Indiana, if you don't know,
A-town.
is in the top 10 top 10 most dangerous cities in the U.S. or top 20. It's somewhere in there.
It's somewhere up there.
Don't
but
check
God,
me
it's
on that. But I know it's up there. It's like behind Detroit, but it's our own version of Detroit. So
Detroit.
it's behind Detroit.
Oh, God. Next.
We didn't even hit the whole 9/11 that we are going to the museum later.
Yeah, we kind of rambled.
Because somehow we got onto the fact that we don't have plumbing that works. So later we're going to the 9/11 museum, which for me, I've always found it interesting. The story is tragic, but it's something that we have to look back on and learn from. And personally, I wasn't alive when it happened. I know.
Which is absolutely unbelievable. I can't even fathom.
The 3 of you were. What? You were like 3 when it happened.
I was 1. Next.
Um,
Jack, I was there.
Were you in New York? I had a cousin that was in New York when that happened.
I was just walking down the street, bro.
I actually had a cousin that was a Calvin Klein model at the time, living in New York
Stop talking about me.
when it happened. Garrett is not my cousin, nor is he a Calvin Klein model. Voice crack.
Aspiring.
Before he came on the show, he said, I have both a voice and a face for radio. So,
Cuter than Jack.
roasted. That's
Boom, roasted.
debatable. So,
Happy
yes,
Jack.
I had a cousin. He lived here. He was a Calvin Klein model. And then he moved to the middle of the mountains with his family. And now he's back in Pendleton. It's like he's been all over the place.
What a
And he does
geography
construction
switch.
now. It's like, yeah, I was once on Calvin Klein, and now he just lives in a little house in Markleville with his family and does construction. I'll edit that out if I can.
I doubt you can. I don't think that's a thing, homeboy. But anyway. Next.
Fascinating stories. But yeah, that put my family into panic when that had happened. Does anyone else have an experience during 9/11 or a story about someone
Considering
it affected?
No.
I don't really have like a big whole story like that, but I was in Myrtle Beach. I do remember that on vacation, and my parents always
remember.
say, "Okay, Garrett, sass level needs to come down a little."
No sass, just pointing out you probably don't remember anything.
Yeah, but my parents tell me. Anyways, but my parents were like, what is happening?
I just want to say things. I'm refraining from talking.
Okay.
Next.
Anyways, I was in Myrtle Beach. Next.
So Emily actually knows half the firefighters that were on the ground that day.
God, stop. No, basically all I know is that I was at my great grandma's house and my parents were freaking out, and that's all. That's it.
Wow.
I don't remember
Riveting.
the little Myrtle Beach thing that we have over
Riveting.
here. Okay, I don't remember anything, Claire.
Okay.
Riveting.
Next. Okay.
Next.
Now let's talk about transportation between here and where we're from in Indiana.
Oh.
Now, let's put it this way. In Indiana, we're like, oh, that's a mile away. We should probably hop in the car. Here, a mile away in a car is about 20 minutes.
Right. Like, I'm burning down back roads at like 85 miles an hour. I haven't seen a car go over 8 miles an hour the whole time we've been in New York City. So it's kind of like a big culture,
Right.
like,
and
smack to your face.
if jaywalking is illegal, everyone here should be in federal prison.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah. I've actually taken advantage of the jaywalking. I think it's a
I
blast.
have to.
It's definitely
It keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, it's like an adrenaline rush. It's like, all right, I know this is so illegal. There's like 26 cops surrounding me, but watch me cross the street right here while there's a green light just because
It's the only
can.
way you're going to get across.
Yeah,
How
I'm
we
not
said
waiting in
earlier,
that big old
you
crowd
have
at the
to be
corner.
forceful.
Yeah.
And when there's that biker that almost runs into you.
God, when we were coming in, that dude that was just bobbing and weaving through traffic, that takes skill. It takes
Yes.
skill to live in New York.
It's like it's better than Peter Parker.
You
and
practice
he's actually a real
you practice
person.
for New York. Next.
But yeah, so that's our take on New York. Anything you'd like to add? Favorite memory while we're here?
Favorite memory? I don't know. Probably Sam getting hurt. That Emily. Never mind. I'm not gonna bring that up. we're gonna keep that on the DL. Next.
Anything from you girls?
Basically just that I face planted this morning.
Which I heard about. Which I heard about
It
and
was
laughed.
a ghost, is what I'm going
It
with.
was Claire Goodwin.
Okay.
I could see Claire doing it.
There were some fist fights on the street this morning. That's all that has to be said. Well, my personal favorite part was going to Times Square. Ever since I was in 5th grade, I wanted to be a broadcaster and live in a big city.
Oh God! All right, Jack. I'm gonna have to have you hit next. Let's talk about how Jack reacted when we landed at the airport, which you couldn't even really see anything at LaGuardia, but God forbid, Jack was already
I've been
here.
waiting 7 years to be here.
Yeah, I know. You have a New York iPad case.
That's fair. It's cool.
Dude, come on.
It's literally been consistent smiles this entire trip from Jack.
I
And
know
apparently,
his teeth have to be so dry from smiling all the time.
and apparently you guys knocked off points because he was too positive.
Exactly.
So I'm just kind of curious, since you've been waiting that long to come here, is it everything you hoped?
Now, as a second grader, you don't realize the level of things that go on in New York. So to say it's everything I hoped, it's not what I expected, but it's more exciting.
Really?
Well, right, because you don't expect as a second grader to be hearing language that you hear in New York, or people just yelling things.
Dude, I hear
or
worse
running into
language
each
in the
other.
freshman hallway at our high school.
Well, exactly, but again, when you are 7 years old, you don't expect that from a big city. You expect it to be like Ryan Seacrest and Kelly Ripa walking down the street, and like.
Next. Actually,
we saw
the
Black Panther cast members.
Yeah, but you
Yes.
didn't know about that? No. Yeah, well,
E!
they're
News
irrelevant.
was in Times Square, and we
Yeah,
saw
I was
Black
on
Panther
TV.
cast members.
Ha!
No, Peyton Keeney got a photo with those.
Yeah,
the
she
two
did.
cast members.
She's like, I don't know who they are, but I want a picture with them.
Yes.
Dude, he has spectacles. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh,
was
I
one
want
of the
those.
was one of the cast members Michael B. Jordan?
No.
Oh, not interested.
Next.
Okay. We can't end on next. Next is just like, okay.
Next.
You're listening to Hit the Road, Jack. We'll be bringing you more from somewhere else in a few weeks.
It'll probably
Thank
be
you.
Pendleton.
This is Jack Hudson. Until next time.